Okay, since I was young, my family has always considered me a pack rat. Basically, I hoard things whether it has any value or not. It may be clothes that I don't wear, decor I don't use, and I've even thought it was valuable to keep toenail clippings. So upon searching this thought of a drastic decluttering, I stumbled upon this book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. And I've honestly never given that any thought. What will happen to all of my stuff when I die? Now, I do realize that is an alarming thought, and I don't foresee my death coming anytime soon, fingers crossed, obviously. But I still felt Swedish death cleaning was an interesting idea and option for me. It just seemed like a drastic approach to cutting down belongings using new, maybe more harsh terms on if something is worth keeping. Running each piece through my brain with the filter of if I was to die tomorrow, would I want my loved ones to have to handle this, or would anyone even want it? Now, if you've been naturally blessed with being able to part with things, then good for you. But I'm sure I speak on behalf of the pack rats that this might be just the thing we need. So there are 7 steps to the Swedish death clean. Firstly, let your loved ones know. Start with less personal items, gift possessions away gradually, keep mementos for yourself, and then donate and sell the rest. All the while asking yourself, will anyone be happier if I save this? So in my house, there's a lot of nooks and crannies for a pack rat like me to stuff things. Under the stairs, linen closets, these drawers I like to put things I don't feel like handling right now. And on one hand, I've actually thought about buying organizers to help me organize the clutter, but then the philosophy of that doesn't always make sense to me to like buy more things to organize my too many things. Does that make sense? Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of organization tools that I think are very valuable, but for the sake of this video, I was gonna not buy anything new. I don't wanna bring anything more into the house. So this giant house clean I've been tackling over the last 6 months, which if you're curious why my hair is long in some of these clips, that's why. I guess I didn't just clean up my house, I also clean up my head. My job makes the house a little bit unique because there is certain rooms that are like filming and storage and things like that, which made tackling those rooms a little bit less satisfying. Because although they're a lot cleaner now, not many of the items went out the door because it's stock for filming videos.
What you doing? You don't understand. This is a basic human right. This is a basic human right.
My favorite spot to clean and organize was definitely the kitchen. Although I wanted to keep every vase and utensil, I really kept in mind the Swedish death clean and only held on to things I use every single week or for special occasions. Like I'm not gonna get rid of things that we use on Thanksgiving. One thing I found really valuable about this, and I would suggest to you if you're a little bit nervous about cleaning out your stuff, is when there's a piece that you are suspicious about that you think you might not be using and that you don't need, but it's a little bit hard to part with, just set it out of sight, out of mind, maybe into like a closet or into your garage where you wouldn't normally see it. And if a week or 2 passes and you haven't wondered where it is or like went like you needed to use it, then it's probably an indicator that you don't need it and you can get rid of it.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to show this. Ugh. You know, I don't want to play the blame game, but I would honestly say half of this is Stuart's fault.
I think the most satisfying part was the task of the junk drawer. One thing I really found with this drawer is once I actually tore into it, I realized half of the stuff in here was just garbage. Like I've just been shoving my receipts in here for some reason. And you can use old like utensil organizers or shoe boxes to organize drawers like this. It's quite nice to just have it compartmentalized. Also, another avenue of the Swedish death clean that makes it a little bit more difficult is if you live with someone, whether it's family or friends or a random person. So during my Swedish death clean, I had to involve Stuart. And Stuart has an addiction to saving boxes. He is literally that audio on Instagram that's like, very nice box. A box for my trinkets. Anytime we buy anything that comes in a nice box, where does it go? Right into the storage room. What is it used for? Nothing. This is how I know Stuart was here, by the way. An empty box. So I had to slowly but surely wean him off the little boxes and also the board games.
Stuart, you are the reason that I can't live my clean, awesome life.
Why? That's not me.
I'm pretty sure there's something we could get rid of, seeing how you have two of the same exact game and one is still in packaging.
Yeah.
And all of these books, like why? You don't even read.
Yeah, it's kind of a pipe dream.
Let's just start. 2 things of D&D dice. Do you really need 2?
We do. Sometimes some games.
We're going through your books though. And that is regret. Got a promise. And I always keep my promises. How are you supposed to get your life in order when your significant other will not let you get rid of codenames, codename picture, or codename Disney? Can anybody relate to this? Century. Another century.
They're both very different.
Don't marry a nerd.
This one's the best.
If you want a clean life, don't marry a nerd. I warned you. Oh, poker chips? Now that actually is a quintessential must-have in this house. I would honestly say that is a wild and crazy success. Out of all of that, Stuart is willing to part with 2, which is literally 2 more than I thought he was going to. So, compromising in a marriage. Saving cards is just a quintessential must-have for me. Yes, I like to keep cards. Take me to jail. Now I have an empty box. What a nice empty box I found.
Very nice box. For my trinkets. Another box.
I think there's a lot of value in having little boxes to just throw things in to keep it looking clean, but it's actually just hoarded in a box. But eventually it pushes the seam of that box and you gotta tackle it. The underneath of our coffee table was a perfect example of that. I think because it's out of eyesight view, I just kept shoving things underneath it. And when I would stand at the entrance of the room, I couldn't see it. But then when I actually got down, I would look in there and I was like, oh my goodness, Chip probably thinks we live in garbage because he can see all of my piles on eye level. If only we were better painters, then we would keep these. Stuart and I did that thing where you pass it back and forth every 5 minutes. This is what we got. I just want the record to show that I don't want to clean up my absolute favorite stacking area for multiple reasons, but I will. Fine. This is an obvious keep. We had a good run. We had a really good run at crocheting. In Swedish, the exercise of dostandning, I 100% butchered that. A combination of the word do, which means death, and standing, which means cleaning. Death cleaning is not about dusting or mopping up. It is about a permanent form of organization that makes your everyday life run more smoothly. Also, yes, this is what I look like. I have a mullet today. So basically how I would do it is with every area, I'd start by pulling everything out and just sprawling it across the floor. And then I would pick through and find the must keeps. Now there's different ways that I found that. It's if I used it very frequently or if I would be in touch with someone in my family who they were like, yeah, if you died, I would definitely keep that. Which, that was a weird call to have, but people were into it, honestly. Tate was like, I definitely want that. Want. This is what came out of the cabinet that's not staying. I, tempted to keep these baskets, but I won't, because I'm not hoarding. When you have everything sprawled out, it feels very much like you have the I absolutely don't need, I absolutely do need, and then there's this medium ground where it's I don't really need this, but I also don't really want to get rid of it. And honestly, that maybe pile is when the Swedish death clean question of if I die, would anyone want this? That's when that maybe pile gets cut down. Because truly, when you get calling people about those maybes, they're like, I actually don't really want that. And I'm like, rude, okay. One thing I also have to say that has always helped me with donating items is imagining where it's going. Okay, things can sit in your house, collect dust, never get used, or you can donate them. And depending on where you're donating to, lots of times the money goes to fabulous causes, or the items directly get put in the hands of people who are going to love and appreciate them and give them new life. And for me, that's a big motivator with donating, is just the idea of something being used and loved by someone else, rather than being just kind of disregarded by me. My biggest shock during this was realizing my period product drawers are insane. It's also where I realized that I have a false sense of security if I keep the empty container of tampons. It makes me believe it's full and that I'll never have my period and not have a tampon because I have this empty box. And once I cleaned all that out, a weight was lifted. Every time I would open this drawer, I felt better.
You have so much tampon stuff.
These are all just empty boxes. I guess I hoard the empty boxes. It's just a fun little thing that I've been doing.
Honestly.
Why was I hoarding all this cardboard? Periods, am I right? Alrighty. This is the one I've been dreading. Because if I'm being honest, I don't want to get rid of anything. I like it all. I can't part with it. You're asking too much. You're asking too much. All right, this is all going bye-bye. Pretty good, pretty good. This is gonna be one of the harder ones for me because your girl does not like getting rid of perfumes. Like, I don't use this one. Like, I don't use this one either. But those smell good, girl. They smell good. Because instead of it just sitting here, someone could like really enjoy it. Oh, this one's hard though. I got this one like literally 12 years ago though. Like, does it have an expiration? I don't even know. I don't see no expiration. Can you tell that this is my favorite one? I smell like cotton candy. Like, I feel like that's pretty big of me to get rid of this. Pretty big of me. Isn't it like so unreasonable? Like, as I'm going through all of this, I'm thinking, what if there's a zombie apocalypse and then I can't buy lotion? Then I wish I would have kept this lotion.
The two spots in the house I was most dreading was the furnace room and also the storage room downstairs. I mean, they're dark, they're dingy, it's scary. I throw things in there. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna stumble upon a mouse or a giant spider. I can honestly say I've had that box sitting there like that for 6 months because I keep telling myself I'll unpack it once all the renovations are done. But the renovations will never be done. And I know that. I should probably handle that box. I was looking for these. I thrifted these and I guess they ended up under everything. I honestly felt really good after I tackled those ones because there's a lot of power in like knowing what's in your house and knowing where it is. I can honestly say after 6 months of decluttering this house, if you ask me to find something, I can find it. Throughout this whole process, I found so many things that I had thought that I'd lost and they were just tucked away somewhere in the house, which was so fun. And like, don't get me wrong, my house is still very full. I'm a maximalist by nature. I enjoy collecting things and having things. So I'm never gonna have like that minimalist, clean slate house, which personally for me, I don't aspire to have that. I just wanna be organized in my terms. So after 6 complete months of decluttering my house, I can honestly say it feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders for multiple reasons. 1, a lot of the clutter is gone. 2, I know where everything in the house is. 3, all of the items that I'm donating, I feel like will get new life and be loved by someone else, which I think is a very beautiful thing. Do I think Swedish death cleaning was necessary? For me, it added like another realistic and maybe I would say kind of harsh outlook on decluttering. But for someone who is a little bit of a hoarder, I think it was the extra question I needed. And with all of that being said, if you have some part of your home that is bothering you, it's cluttered, it causes you stress, I would encourage you to slowly tackle it over time. You know, you don't have to get it all done in one sitting. Maybe if you just sit there for 5 minutes and sort through it and then that's all for that day, I honestly feel like you'll slowly get through it and you'll feel better once it's done. Because honestly, you can do this, you can handle it, you can get rid of it, you can part with it, you can keep it, you can do this. You got this! So that was my Swedish death clean. I think it was very interesting. I had a good time. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. So I don't usually do organization videos on this channel, but if you enjoyed this, make sure to let me know down below because I kind of have a different concept that I've been thinking about, which sort of is similar to this one, which I would love to do. So this is kind of like the trial video. Make sure to click the subscribe button if you enjoyed. As always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!